welcome to the Starlight Theater, where Heidi Noel's Performing Arts Center is presenting Channeling Grimm. In case of an emergency, please exit through the doors that you entered from. The bathroom is out the doors and down the hall. If you take any photos tonight of our performers, be sure to tag us on Facebook. We just would like to highlight how amazing our students are. They performed this show this evening with only 9 practices total. So can we give them a round of applause? If interested in helping for any future programs for our summer theater production of Peter Pan, we do have donation jars throughout the theater and in the lobby. All proceeds will go towards our upcoming musical, Peter Pan. If interested in signing up your actor for Peter Pan, you can do so on March 31st. Now, sit back and relax and enjoy this evening's performance of Channeling Grimm.
I so don't want to do my assignment this weekend for honors English.
I told you that class is going to be a lot of work.
But this is honors English. Why are you reading little kid books?
Ooh, like Miss Nelson is Missing? I love that book. I'm your new teacher, Miss Viola.
No, not Miss Nelson. We're studying stupid fairy tales.
Oh man, I'd kill it if we were studying fairy tales. I've got Disney Plus, so I've seen all the greats. Cinderella, Snow White, Tangled.
Tangled isn't a fairy tale.
It's basically the story of Rapunzel.
It's Disney's version of Rapunzel. And it's great. But trust me, there's no mention of the cuddly duckling or the floating lanterns in the Grimm version. And no one randomly breaks out in the song.
Maybe that's why they call it the Grimm version. Rapunzel is so much better with lanterns and singing.
It's not grim as in depressing. It's grim with 2 M's, like the Brothers Grimm.
Whatever. Same difference. So what do you have to do for this depressingly grim assignment?
Well, we're supposed to be studying fairy tales to find modern-day applications of the central themes of the collected stories of the Brothers Grimm.
Snore! What does that even mean?
I guess Mr. Jacobs wanted us to link fairy tales to our own life in order to apply the lessons from the stories. But how can I do that when these stories were written in the early 1800s?
There's no way to make a connection. They didn't even have streaming in the 1800s.
Jamie, they didn't even have television in the 1800s.
Right. I knew that.
Do you see the size of this book? How am I supposed to read all these fairy tales and then write a paper by Monday?
Just do what I do. Watch the movie version instead.
I told you, the movie versions are nothing like the original versions. Trust me, there's not a whole lot of happily ever afters in this book.
Really?
In Cinderella, the birds peck out the stepsister's eyeballs. And at the end of Rumpelstiltskin, he tears himself in 2.
No way. That's awesome. Pass me the book.
I'm never gonna finish this assignment.
How about this? To help bring things into focus, you can use my favorite educational tool, the TV. And I'll take a look through this gruesome book to see if I can find anything helpful. Deal?
TV is your favorite educational tool?
Don't knock my methods. Besides, this is no ordinary TV. It's magical.
Magical?
That's right. My fairy godmother gave it to me.
You have a fairy godmother?
Did I say fairy godmother? I meant my aunt.
This is a weird remote. How do you turn this thing on?
Hit the big red button.
The one that looks like an apple?
Apple? I guess.
What do I have to lose? All right, let's see what's on TV. Guess Apple TV must have changed their logo for Halloween.
That's weird. Halloween isn't for months.
Here we go.
I'm not sure what a himline shark. Shark bite is out.
That's not a shark bite. That's a shark bite.
A what?
You don't worry about it. A shark bite. You didn't give me any scissors, so I'm working with that shark now.
It's Project Ballgown Shark, not Project Excuses. I'm not a judge, but I say clean up the hem.
But we're done.
Get it done!
Trying, but you keep interrupting me every 5 minutes.
He's not telling you to get it done, as in complete the draft. He's telling you to get it done, D-U-N-N, like his name, Lord Done. It's his catchphrase.
Is that why he says it every 5 minutes?
5 minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes till runway.
I'd better get back to work and go to the magic of this design.
What do we have over here, Fairy Godmother?
I'm going to a royal look for this design.
Intricate technique, detailed embroidery. It's a masterpiece.
Thank you, Lord Done.
You really got it done with this look. It's fabulous!
I just want to make sure that the friends is mesmerized by Cinderella when she enters the ball wearing this gown.
Well, I think you've succeeded. Tell me, what's your secret?
Can't go wrong with a little bit of magic.
Seriously? She gets a magic wand.
We're all just working with what we got.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one who has some sharp teeth and uses tail.
Got any more tricks up your sleeve you'd like to share with me?
I'd rather save them for the runway.
Good thinking. Speaking of the runway, time jump designers to the runway. Let's get it done. Cinderella, Godmother, thank you for judging this episode of Runway Magic. Tonight our contestants had the challenge of creating Cinderella's gown for the Prince's Ball without the use of traditional sewing tools.
How creative.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Shut! You're the first.
Great. I wanted to create a gown that would highlight Cinderella's simple beauty for nature. That was simply charming.
You would say that, wouldn't you? You know that soft spot for woodland creatures.
What's not to love about them, stepmother? They're so kind and helpful.
These are kind of helpful. Maybe for you, but not for the rest of us. I asked your mice friends to pick me up some groceries the other day, but did they do it? No.
How about we get back to the ball gown? I think Chuck added some nice details along the neckline.
You mean those wildflowers? They're tacky. No one wears flowers this season.
Well, I'd wear it to ball.
No, you wouldn't, because you're going to be home all night.
We'll see about that.
Well, I think the judges can agree that you really got it done this time.
Every time.
Fairy Godmother, show us what magic you have created.
I'd be happy to. For this design, I wanted to create something unexpected, something nobody has seen coming.
I love the silhouette.
It's definitely not something you see every day.
Now for the big reveal.
Those shoes!
They're incredible.
Now that's getting it done.
Seriously? I know which ball I'm wearing to the gown. I know which gown I'm wearing to the ball.
Neither, because you're going to be home to cleanse out the ashes all night.
We'll see about it, stepmother. Maybe I'll surprise you and make it to the ball after all.
Good luck with that.
I don't need luck. I have friends who care about me and support me with whatever I do.
Well, judges, we have a winner.
We interrupt today's program with a 36,524 of Slumber Watch. Briar Rose, known throughout the land as the Sleeping Beauty, is still fast asleep. Tomorrow marks the 100th year since Briar Rose first fell asleep. Will tomorrow be the day that the curse is finally broken? Will Briar Rose's prince come and wake her with a kiss? Follow WBR and Fairy Tale News for all the latest updates.
I hate when they do that.
Do what?
Interrupt the show I'm watching with some ridiculous news update. If I wanted the news, I would just look on my phone.
That's the only thing that disturbed you about what we just watched?
I think so. Was I supposed to be disturbed by something else?
Did you not notice that it was a Cinderella reality show send-up? What was that?
The mouse and a fairy godmother were designing ball gowns. That tracks.
I don't know. This whole thing is weird.
Weird can be good. That's why you're friends with me, right?
Right.
Then trust me. See what else is on. Maybe you'll stumble on another show that will help you with your paper.
Well, I've yet to find anything on the TV that's going to help me write my paper.
Then choose something else. This is streaming. If you don't like what's on, there's always a ton of other content to choose from.
I hope so.
Cops in courtrooms, part 34 of the trial for Granny versus the Big Bad Wolf. Granny has made the unusual choice to represent herself. Big Bad Wolf is represented by none other than Prince Charming. We now join the court in session.
So what I'm hearing is that you saw the Big Bad Wolf march into my house, attack me unprovoked, and swallow me whole. Is that correct, Mr. Hudson? Objection! So staying. Let me rephrase. In your previous testimony, you stated that when you come from the belly of the Big Bad Wolf, you found me completely whole, just as I'm standing before you now.
Yes, that is correct. And might I just say, even then, your hair was on point.
Why, thank you.
I just couldn't imagine why a bloodthirsty wolf would want to bother a sweet old lady like yourself.
Objection, Your Honor! It's Your Majesty. But you're the judge. I am your king. You will address me as such. Objection, Your Majesty. On what grounds? On the grounds that the witness's testimony is prejudicial. How so? On the fact that you're adding the extraordinary details by saying the wolf is bloodthirsty when you could have just said he ate a whole person. Oh. But, Your Honor, can you see my client is not getting a fair shake here with all your worldly, wily wisdom? I don't know about that. Is that a new set of robes, Your Majesty? Yes, they are. I can tell. They make you look 10 years younger, or maybe it's just your rosy complexion. I see what you're doing here, Prince Charming. You can't turn on the charm and change the outcome of this trial. If you don't want to be held in the contempt of court, I would recommend keeping your remarks on the trial and not on my amazing wardrobe. Okay, Your Majesty. Do you have any other questions for me? No further questions, Your Majesty. Does the defense have any questions for the witness? None, Your Majesty. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I saw that huntsman.
So what? What is the huntsman doing his civil duty by testifying in court?
They're trying to frame the
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, King Judge, the defendant is harassing me.
It's you who's harassing me, huntsman. You've had it out for me ever since I told the evil queen. The heart you brought back to her was really just for my
Wolf. Prince Charming, you don't want your client removed from this courtroom, I would recommend keeping him under control. Prosecution. The prosecution calls Little Red Riding Hood to stand.
That's just great. I hope you don't mind, Your Majesty. One along the few teeth that I baked myself.
How sweet of you.
May I pass them out before I give my testimony? Everyone here will say little takes to drink. There's nothing better for explaining it than a speech to.
By all means.
None for you for your great old meaning. Objection!
You can't object. Only their lawyers can. Objection! What was that? I said objection! I'm sorry, Charlie. I really don't know what you're saying.
The rest of it is up to you, Your Majesty.
Oh, how sweet.
Can we get back to the trial now?
Yes. Please take us.
Wait, are you going to ask if she's telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth first?
Of course you will. Won't you, sweetheart?
Of course!
Woo. Championship. My favorite.
I put those in there special for you.
I'm sorry, but you can't be swayed by charm, but you can be swayed by sweet treats. Like what I like. Right? Yes, thank you. So, sweetheart, Little Red, can you please tell the jury your version of the events that went on in my cottage in the woods once upon a time?
I'll be happy to, Lucy. On that day, I was skipping through the woods on the way to my granny's house. My granny was really ill that day, and I just wanted to bring her a nice glass of peach to help her feel better.
What a sweet little girl you are.
Objection!
On what grounds? I see no objection. She's a sweet little girl. Overruled. Continue.
And,
What happened next, sweetie?
as I was minding my own business, the wolf appeared and tried to steal my basket of peach. I did no such thing.
I'm adding 1 count of misdemeanor larceny.
You kidding me? Anyhow, I swatted him on the nose and held tight to my basket. Next thing I knew, Big Bad Wolf had run away into the woods. Well, what was I to do but run as fast as I can to my grandmother's house? When I arrived, I could not believe my eyes.
What was it? Yes, dear, tell us, what did you see?
My granny was gone, and in her place was Big Bad Wolf, just in her nightgown, ready to eat me whole. I already told you, it's all a big misunderstanding. And your granddaughter, the morning, gave me a swat on the nose. She used her basket to pummel me senseless, and I had no choice but to run away. And as I was running away, I slipped in a puddle and fell, wearing my brand new suit. Then I saw your clothes, your nightgown drying on the line. I was only going to borrow a few days ago to run my suit.
But what about the testimony that said you ate Granny Wolf?
Lies, nothing but lies, I tell you. No, they're not. They really happened, I swear.
That mean old wolf.
Objection!
Cops in courtrooms will be right back after these messages.
Are you looking for a new mattress? Then come on down to Mattresses R Us. We have all the types of mattresses that you're dreaming of. Inner spring mattresses, foam mattresses, even water beds.
Oh, water beds, don't get seasick.
That's right, only top quality mattresses here. If you're looking for something slightly more affordable, then we have slightly used futons that have only been slapped down by the few hundred couch surfing college students.
Teacher Carson and drill things have a standard.
That's right, no trickery here. Only top quality, hardly used mattresses.
I guarantee they're totally comfortable unless someone has a little tiny green pea under your mattress. Unless you need a good Kylo.
That's right. So, come on down to Mattresses R Us, and we'll have you leave with a mattress that will have you sleeping happily ever after.
Mattress malfunctions once they leave the castle. Mattresses may contain little green peas. It is highly recommended that any pizza crusts embedded in the futons not be eaten. Mattresses R Us is located off Route 1 near the Dragon's Lair, just across the large moat.
Maybe get one without bread crusts and drool stains on it. Just a thought.
That sounds good either way.
This is a total waste of time. Big Bad Wolf on trial? We both know that didn't happen in the original Red Riding Hood story.
You're right. But maybe it should have. Now that would have been an awesome fairy tale.
And that commercial, it was obviously referencing Princess and the Pea. But the Grimm brothers didn't even write that story. Hans Christian Andersen did.
Actually, the Brothers Grimm did originally include a Princess and the Pea tale in their original fairy tale collection, but later removed it when they discovered it was written by Andersen.
So you're a reader now.
I'm still looking for those gory endings you mentioned, but don't worry, TV is still my go-to homework number.
Just into something else to watch.
Fine.
In a world filled with imminent danger, a girl of hair of gold sits, alone, brushing her not so chemically enhanced hair.
It's all mine, really. It's natural.
As she waits for the day that her prince will come and rescue her.
When, oh when will my prince come to rescue me? That must be him now.
Will her prince make it to the top of the tower?
Tell me about it.
Will true love ignite a spark between the helpless dreamer and her prince?
Hey, I never said I was helpless, and this ain't no prince.
I feel so.
Will anything get in the way of their date with destiny? This spring, gather your family, journey to the theater, and prepare to climb to new heights for the movie masterpiece about a girl trapped in a tower and a cat who rescues her in Hairbrained.
Gross.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
That's easy for you to say. You don't have a risk.
Ta-da!
Ta-da? Really? You just show up in someone's home unannounced, and all you can say is ta-da?
Who are you? What are you doing at home?
Not so fast. I don't just give my name to anyone.
No one else see a problem with this? No, just me.
I may not give you my name, but I can give you my assistance.
Assistance with what?
I can spin that stone and go with you.
You can't? Oh, thank you, sir. You have no idea what you've done for us. Name your price. I'll give you anything I tell you. Anything.
Dad!
Yes?
Have you ever heard about keeping an upper hand in a negotiation?
Speaking of hands, could you?
Sorry.
Tell me, what did the king promise you if your daughter were able to spin the stone to gold?
Yeah, Dad. What did he promise your only daughter for?
Oh, not much. Only that he would marry you and make you his queen.
Really, Dad? Me? The queen? Oh my gosh, you're the best! Okay, Mr. No Name. What's your deal?
My price is your firstborn child.
My firstborn what now?
Child, if I spin the stone to gold with you, I'm going to need to hand it your kid.
No biggie. I didn't want kids anyway. Do you see where they stick their fingers? Ew!
But you might change your mind. Isn't there anything else you want?
Nope, I want the child. That's my final offer.
That seems to be your only offer?
Fine. To show that I'm a nice guy, if you can guess my name, I can spin the stone to gold with you and you can keep your kid.
The kid that I don't want.
Right.
Is your name Steve?
No.
Beauregard?
No.
Did I already say Steve?
Oh man, this is going to take a while.
Rumble will be right back after these messages.
Is someone trying to vote on your house?
Are intruders breaking in and making themselves at home?
Let the boy that pig and make handle all your legal woes. I came home that time to be happy in both of quarters, and the yellowhead bandit sleeping on my couch. Sure, I could have just kicked her out and made some more porridge, but I wanted justice. So I hired Pig and Pig. They took my case, but and we went to court, but the court canceled my date because my lawyer slept it. That kind of service is the pig guarantee. At the end of each workday, I make sure that all my shoemaking materials were put away and that my cobbler's shop was locked up tight before I went to sleep. Yet every morning when I woke up, I found completed pairs of shoes on my workbench. It took me a couple weeks before I figured out that a couple of us been sneaking in at night and making shoes. Sure, those shoes were well made and helped save me hours of work, but it just kind of creeped me out knowing they were down there, gobbling away the night making shoes. Sure, those shoes were well made and those elves saved me hours of work, but it just kind of creeped me out knowing they were down there, gobbling away the night making shoes. Pig and Pig took my case. Not only did the judge dismiss my charges, but I had to pay them 2 weeks for the wages for the work they've done.
That kind of care is the Big Brother's guarantee.
The lawyers at Pig and Pig tried to build a case against me for stealing from the giant. Those guys are a joke. Sure, and man took the hens and the heart and the bag of money. But those pigs were so unprepared that the judge sent them to jail for contempt of court. I'm ran out with the loop. Now I'm suing those pig brothers for defamation of character. Another pig brothers guarantee. To put all your little bones, homeboys at Pig and Pig.
We'll do everything we can to make your tax problems disappear.
And if we can't help you, well, we'll try not to make things worse.
That's the Big Brother's guarantee.
Lawsuits that the clients named her as a result of legal representation. Clients of Big and Pig should know that it is unlikely that they will win any legal disputes of any kind. Come on, guys, these are actual pigs we're talking about.
I'm not sure those 3 little pigs are the best choice as lawyers. They couldn't even keep the big bad wolf from blowing down their house.
But think about it. Aren't they the perfect choice to represent victims of a breaking and entering? They know exactly what their clients are going through.
Good point. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Oh no, now I'm rationalizing these insane commercials. Are you sure this is a normal remote? It keeps selecting channels I've never heard of before.
Looks fine to me. Then again, we have so many remotes around here, I have no idea which one does what.
Maybe it's time for a universal remote.
Is that a remote that helps you see into outer space? Because if so, I am down for that.
Just find us something else to watch.
Attention ground control, requesting permission to change channel.
Welcome back to Who is the Fairest One of All? The game show that answers the eternal question, who is the fairest one of all? Tonight's contestants are a mother-daughter.
Correction. She's not my daughter. She's my husband's daughter.
So, your stepdaughter?
I guess. But can't you find another label to assign to us?
Very well. Tonight's contestants are a fair maiden and the jealous queen who married her father.
Really?
Put your hands together for the evil queen. And Snow White! Now keep it going for the host who's always reflecting, the looking glass who's never afraid to share an honest opinion, our host with the most, Magic Mirror!
One of them all, the game show that tells it like it is. Tonight's contestant will be asked a series of questions to determine just how beautiful they are.
I don't see why you bother asking a bunch of silly questions. Your audience can clearly see I'm the most beautiful woman here.
first question is, describe a time in which you helped someone else even though you didn't have to. Snow White, start us off.
So one day, when I was hiking through the forest, I came across this family of bunnies.
Here we go.
They just looked so cold and hungry. I knew I must help. So I took the warm shawl I was wearing and wrapped it around them like a little nest and gave them the basket of berries I'd been collecting.
Oh, how sweet. What a kind and beautiful gesture that was. Good job, Snow White. Evil Queen, what about you? Tell us about a time when you helped someone else. Doesn't have to be a story about cute little furry creatures.
What about the time I decided not to kill my husband for disobeying my orders?
No, I don't think that's what we're looking for.
What about the time I gave a fair maiden a lace for her bodice?
Maybe? I think this point goes to Snow White. Okay, our next question is about gifts. Tell me, what is the most thoughtful gift you've ever given to someone? Snow White.
When I had moved into the dwarves' cottage, I realized none of them had ever read a book. So that night, I gathered them around the fireplace and told them the most wonderful stories about princesses and dragons and far-off lands.
There's no gift quite like that of a story that entertains us and engages our imaginations. Good job, Snow White. Evil Queen.
Oh, I actually have a great one for this. One day, I was taking a leisurely stroll through the forest when I came across a cottage. In this cottage lived a maiden. Now, this maiden was so lovely that I was compelled to give her a gift. I gifted her with my most prized possession, a beautiful comb for her hair.
A poison comb.
What was that?
I'm not fair maiden she's talking about. And as soon as the comb touched my head, I passed out and nearly died.
True.
All right, moving on. Name a time where you proved to someone that you could trust them.
Oh, I actually have an amazing answer for this one. Once again, I was taking a stroll through the forest, carrying a basket of apples, when I came across a very hungry maiden. I offered her one of my apples, but she seemed a little weary. I guess there had been a string of attacks on maidens in this particular forest.
Imagine that.
To prove that I was okay, and that my apples were safe, I took a bite of the apple myself. When she saw that I was okay, she accepted it and tried it for herself. And what?
Again, I am not fair maiden. And as soon as I bit into the apple, I passed out. And if the dwarves hadn't found me in time, I would have surely died. Again.
Hey, you just said it had to be a thoughtful gift. And I put a lot of thought into that comment.
I think it's clear that there's only one possible winner on tonight's show. Snow White! You are the fairest one of them all.
I thought this was about who is the fairest of them all, not the nicest.
Yes, but you have to remember, true beauty lies within. Good night, everyone!
Not gonna lie, kind of like that show.
I told you, TV, filled with great education. around to my ways.
Beautiful day, beautiful ball made of gold, a present from my father, the king. I shall treasure it always and be so devastated if anything were to happen to it. Oh no! It has fallen into the well. This is the worst thing that's happened to anyone in the entire kingdom. Here you crying all over the pond. What troubles you, sweet girl? What botheration is this? A talking frog? Isn't it bad enough I lost my ball, not to be pursued by a horrible beast? A horrible beast? You ruined me, dear princess. And here I was about to come to your rescue. My rescue. The house took me so big to a covered wood. You say you lost the ball? Yes, I won't lose it. From the well. And I saw her retrieve it from you. Will? I will. Under rule and conditions. What is it? If I go into that well, yes. You reach that one wall, yes. Then you must. This is such a stone. Please tell me what I must do so you retrieve my little ball. You must give me a kiss. You no anything but that. Okay. I'm a little offended. Because you're so green and so covered in warts. But inside I'm so much more. Don't you care about that? I only care about one thing. My gold ball. And if you retrieve my gold ball, I will kiss you. It'll be my eyes. My mouth. Now, Princess Astrid, will you keep your promise? Will you give me a kiss? I don't know.
It's day 36,524 of Slumber Walk, and Briar Rose, don't direct the lance, Sleeping Beauty, is still fast asleep. But sources say that a prince has heard tales of the slumbering maiden and is on his way to save her from the curse. Follow WGRM Fairy Tale News for all the latest updates.
The news. Yes, that's what I need. Cold, hard facts. Not soap operas and game shows.
Cold, hard facts, fairy tales. Sure, those two go together.
You know what I meant.
Isn't that what people always say about fairy tales? How full of cold, hard facts they are?
All right, fine. I get it. Can you just turn it on to the news now?
Absolutely. I need my daily dose of cold, hard facts, and fairy tales is just the place to find them.
Why do I even bother?
Tonight, live from our studio in the heart of the kingdom, it's WGRM Fairy Tale News Nightly, with anchor Cornelia's stepsister, and anchor Bunyan's stepsister, and the chicken that keeps us abreast of the changing weather, meteorologist Henny Penny. This is your Fairy Tale News Nightly.
Good evening. Our top story tonight is out in the Eastern Kingdom, where a golden goose has an entire town clinging to hope.
The goose, who local authorities tell us has feathers made of gold, and has been seen parading around town in the arms of 7 townspeople, including 3 daughters of a local landlord, a pair's person, and a clerk.
That must be an unusual sight to behold.
Indeed, Cornelia, it seems as if the whole town is newly stuck with those golden feathers.
Well, we'll come back to that story later. But now, let's check in with our friendly meteorologist, Henny Penny.
studio is fine, honey.
The sky is falling, the sky is falling.
Henny, please just calm down and give our viewers the weather report.
This is your weather report. The sky is falling. You hear me? The sky is falling. Take cover, everybody. This is the big one.
Okay, moving on. This just in. A dwarf labor strike has broken out. Our friendly field reporter, Piper, is on it. Piper,
Thanks, Cornelia. I'm here with the dwarf foreman from Dwarf Mining Enterprises. Earlier today, these dwarfs ceased work in the mines, citing increased pay and better working conditions. Sir, can you please tell us about what specifically prompted you to take this kind of action here today? Understandable. But what specifically made you decide to go on strike? So what I'm hearing is you're tired of the long work hours. Understandable. Now tell me, what exactly are you mining all these gems for? Surely the kingdom has enough riches. Interesting. Oh, yeah. They kind of follow me everywhere. Sorry about that. You heard it here first. The dwarves don't dig the digging. So hopefully this monstrosity of a catastrophe of a situation will resolve itself, and the dwarves can get back to digging. Gems. For no apparent reason.
I think it's clear that the dwarves are looking just for a little bit of respect.
I know exactly how they feel.
What was that, Bunyan?
Respect. I'm just saying, I know what it's like to not be a valued member of the team.
Is this about chores again? His mother said, with Cinderella getting married, all of us have to pick up the slack.
Easy for you to say, you're not the one who clean the outhouse and the pig stalls.
Mother said I get the more tidy jobs that have more marriage potential. And maybe a traveling merchant will want to come out and marry me.
A prince. Want to marry you. No.
Says you, Bunyan.
The sky is falling. I tell you, the sky is falling.
WGRN Fairy Tale News Magazine will be right back after a little
Hey kids, first 10 children here get a free lollipop. You think a broomstick is any match for a powerful conqueror? Take a chair. Back chair. Okay, so come on out to Carla's Candy Cottage.
HNPAC is not responsible for the long-awaited moment's guest. A signed paper released in Florida, if anyone doing is required prior to entry. Yes, you know that delegates, increasing blood sugar, and some death of all possible side effects from visiting.
I like Gretel. She seems tough.
Just like you. There you go, paper done.
I wish. No, I'm not like Gretel at all. I can't make up my mind, which is why I can't decide what to write about in my paper.
Well, you're going to have to figure it out soon. The clock will strike midnight shortly and then.
Let me guess. Cinderella's coach will turn back into a pumpkin.
No. Midnight is when you have to go home. You've been watching way too many fairy tales. I guess that's my fault.
Let's just finish up the news and hope inspiration strikes before the clock does.
Nice one. I see what you did there. You know, you've got a fairy tale lingo down. You could be a writer.
Only if I pass honors in English.
Now to sports, where our local gingerbread man will update you everything that's happening
here to break the curse. Tell me, Confuckers, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling the way I always feel. Absolutely amazing. My hair game's on point, and I whitened my teeth last night.
Most cool.
You're welcome.
For what?
For being in my presence.
Well, it looks like the prince is ready. The Sleeping Beauty is lying here. Wait, so why don't you hurry up and give the viewers what they want?
Viewers?
I don't know, maybe the entire kingdom?
Is that so?
What do you do?
Just trying to look my best for the
You're not here for the audience.
Prince Pompous is evolved his knowledge.
Great, I was talking through.
So, ready to do this? How the angles, guidance. I can.
I've been covering this story for 20 years, but this moment feels like it's never going to end.
Okay, Sleeping Beauty. Get ready for the most amazing kiss of your entire life.
Here it is. This moment is all the way.
You're welcome.
What? She's not waking up.
She's not? Irene. She's not. My kiss ever works every time, I swear.
Wait, I think she's beginning to stir.
Where am I?
You're in the palace, Briar Rose.
Go well.
By your one true love.
I told you my kiss worked. First there was Snow White, and then there was...
Wait a minute. Wait. There were others before me.
an old fan. For a really long time.
Then why didn't you wake me up sooner?
Don't you be angry, Rosie. Plenty of Prince Pompous to go around.
Well, that's it for Slumber Watch. Briar Rose is finally awake, very awake. And as the clock chimes 12 on the 100th year of Briar Rose's slumber, something tells me that her quest for true love continues. Midnight. Time for your homework. Did you figure out your search for your paper?
I have.
See, I told you. TV. Educating children and teen sins.
It was right there all along. I can't believe I didn't see it before. So, the assignment was to study fairy tales to find modern-day applications of the central themes of the collected stories of the Brothers Grimm. I get it now. My assignment doesn't ensure.
Assignment, right. What is it again?
We're supposed to find a link between fairy tales and our own life. And I think I finally found it. The TV really was a magical gift from your fairy godmother. Why else would there be nothing but fairy tale stuff on it?
Okay, so it's the link.
Fairy tales are timeless, right? No matter how the world changes, no matter how society evolves, we keep coming back to these stories about love, revenge, courage, and redemption.
True. So, your paper is going to be, I love someone, and you summoned up the courage to tell them, but they rejected you. So you sought out revenge and were redeemed in the end?
Not even close.
Bummer. That would have been a great story.
Ultimately, these stories are about choices. Wrong ones and right ones. And the consequences of those choices. Sometimes things work out great in the end.
Like when the prince chose to hunt throughout the kingdom to find Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after?
Exactly. And other times, things don't end so well.
Like when the stepsisters chose to be so mean that birds picked out their eyeballs.
Yes, although I'm a little concerned on how much you like that original ending.
Hey, it's a classic for a reason.
So, what I needed to do for the assignment was to figure out choices. Do you take a bite of the apple or not? Do you kiss the frog? Do you risk taking a shortcut to your grandmother's house?
The frog. Always kiss the frog.
Do you venture into the woods, unsure of what you might find along the way? I'd like to think that I would. That I would grab my red hood and my basket, or throw my long hair out the tower window. Facing the unknown, excited for adventure, and ready to come out swinging.
A frying pan. Swing your frying pan, like Rapunzel does in Tangled.
How many times do I have to tell you? Tangled is not the original Rapunzel story.
I know. I just think the frying pan is cool.
Do you think your parents would mind if I spent the night? I really want to get started on the assignment while it's still fresh in my head.
I don't see why not. So how are you going to start off your paper?
Like all good stories do. Once,